From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big Saturday morning with incredible great details about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 today. In this recording, we'll go over the monthly stimulus check that the President, the House, and the Senate Democrats all want you to have, and say they're putting it into the fourth stimulus package currently in recon. We'll be going over all the incredible details and that enormous deal the President signed into law yesterday that anchors and pulls fourth stimulus to the finish line. It's wonderful news. Then the second half of this video, we go over fifth stimulus that got not one but three major breaking details yesterday and Thursday. One, a $1 billion allotment of money to the benefits program. Two, another round of stimulus checks. Yes. And then three, a big surprise with the consumer price index. Then in the middle of the video, we go over the thousands of dollars you can get right now. It's a big morning. It's a big Saturday morning. I'm really excited for you. Let's get to all the details. The toast is toasting. The butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here. And this is Saturday Mornings LALATE. Doing? It's Saturday morning, and I am really excited for you to join me on a big Saturday morning's broadcast. I have a lot to go over, but first, how's the weather where you are? Tell me where you're tuning in from and how the weather is this Saturday morning. It's very sunny. It's getting very warm. And did I say it's very sunny? Here in Southern California. If you're watching the show later in the day, it's because of an outage in Southern California. So a lot of the shows new for Saturday today will be airing in different time slots because of that outage. Boy, in this fourth stimulus package update of today, we have a lot of wonderful breaking news. First, we'll be going over the monthly stimulus check. Then we'll be going over what the Senate, House, and the President are doing for this monthly stimulus check. We'll be going over the deal the President signed yesterday that anchors fourth stimulus over the finish line, and it's absolutely wonderful. We'll be going over calling the vote and everything that you need to do to push fourth stimulus over the finish line as well as part of Purple Power. We'll also be turning to fifth stimulus and the major shocking details, including not just raising your benefits up to a big new number lifetime, but another round of stimulus checks under the fifth stimulus package. Oh, yes. And then we turn back to the thousands of dollars you can get right now. This is LALATE, your 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel. Live in the morning, taped in the afternoons. I don't want you to miss a single video across the board. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record in 1 year. Next stop, 1 million. Hit that subscribe button right now. Fastest growing channel for a reason, the most accurate, most in-depth. And this broadcast will actually be an extended morning's broadcast because there is so much breaking news in the show. Also, like this video, 3,000 likes. Consider becoming a member. Let's get right into that for stimulus right now. The House proposal and the Senate proposal, let's compare them across the board. First, the House bill. The House bill provides a monthly stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. How does that compare to the Senate proposal? Let's look at the details starting right now. First, the House bill provides a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year, whereas the Senate proposal, on the other hand, provides a stimulus check for just July to December. Interesting. If you're on the live chat, get ready to vote House or Senate and tell me where you're watching from and how the weather is. But first, let's look at the monthly payouts. House bill, $1,000 a month after the first month, which is $2,000. Senate proposal, an amount unknown, but word on the street is it's this. Wow. That is the Senate proposal, word on the street, $2,000 a month from the Senate Democrats, $12,000. Or $1,400 a month, single individual, $8,400 over 6 months, meaning that is a per person payout. Let's go back to this graphic because legislators are believing that the pandemic may be over because of macroeconomic data. That would suggest that the House bill would provide 12 months of stimulus checks or 12 checks, not pandemic plus 1 year, which would amount to $13,000 from the House over 12 months, compared to this from the Senate over 6 months. Okay, I think you have an opinion. I think you have an opinion. Jump into the live chat right now and vote House or Senate, which one you like, and tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather this Saturday. All right, let's go over everything else you need to know about that fourth stimulus check for the Democrats. First, who gets it? Well, the Senate Democrats and the House Democrats want the payouts to be the same as third stimulus. So if you are a single individual, make less than $75,000, you get the fourth stimulus check from the Democrats. Married couple, $150,000 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check from the Democrats, double it. And if you are a family of four, you get the fourth stimulus check, quadruple it from the Democrats. And finally, the Democrats want the stimulus checks to go out to people on benefits. Yes, you. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, survivor benefits, congratulations. The fourth stimulus check is not income, so it's not taxable. The fourth stimulus check is not a waivable check, so don't wave at it. It won't wave back. Hi, check. No. This is a monthly stimulus check. The Democrats want the fourth stimulus check to go out the same amount to everyone, adult dependents, minor dependents across the board. And finally, the Senate Democrats and the House Democrats all want the fourth stimulus check to go to a vote no later than July 4th. This means that you would get the fourth stimulus check in the month of July for the month of July, in the month of August for the month of August. And there you go. That is the first of 3 parts of your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 in this video. But in the second part, we're going to go over the big deal the president signed into law yesterday that removes certain provisions for fourth stimulus, making it easier now to pass it. Wow, this is a game changer. And we're going to go over more about that in a second. But first, here's a preview of the second half of this video. Fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus heats up not just with raising up your benefits, but now a new benchmark inflation. And insiders believe that the inflation rate in December may be the highest of many generations to come, and it could lift your benefits up lifetime. Wow, those exciting details, including a fifth stimulus check, coming up in the second half of this video. But now let's turn to some big money right now. I'm really excited for you. If you're new to this channel, how I do this channel is get you money. I don't just report news, I get you money. I got viewers $25 million when the EIDL loan went out because their loans were locked up. They weren't going out. And I saved businesses, saved their homes, and saved their employees' homes. But in fall 2020, we had another problem. People were not getting their second stimulus. It wasn't passed. So I got people rent, utilities, $250,000 of it. So now it's time to do it again. Get a pen and paper ready, because I'm going to show you a lot of money, thousands of dollars that's yours from third stimulus. When third stimulus was passed, I told viewers you're going to get $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 from third stimulus, in addition to a stimulus check. And so get that pen and paper ready, or a Crayola crayon. Has to be pink, because I'm wearing pink. And we got some pink behind us. Because I'm going to show you a lot of money to get in different locations. Here's what you need to know. Each location has different eligibility. So if one says no, don't worry. Reach out to the next. They'll say yes. Okay, you got that pen and paper ready? Here we go. You're going to reach out to City Hall, City Housing Authority. County Hall, County Housing Authority. State Hall, State Housing Authority. Keyword you're going to say is rent assistance because of COVID, or mortgage assistance because of COVID. You don't say words they don't know, like stimulus or Sasquatch. They'll say, excuse me, did he just tippy-toe in here? No, they don't know Sasquatch. I mean, maybe they know Sasquatch, but they, Sasquatch stimulus or stimulus Sasquatch, they just don't know that, so don't say those words. And there you go. That's about $5,000 for rent, 4 to 6 months of rent, plus utilities, plus mortgage assistance. Congratulations to Tim and Linda who got this rent and utilities recently. But if you have a success story, drop it in the comments. Drop it in the live chat right now. Whether it's $100 or $10 or $5, it inspires us all. And we got inspired big time on Monday when someone jumped in Mornings LA and revealed she got $6,000 to $7,000 from this channel. Last night, one viewer revealed she got upwards of $10,000 of rent. You folks are killing it. Let's go over what that $6,000 to $7,000 was that viewer got. It was Snap. Lynn Glenn got it for her son, for her mom, and herself. Gail got it for herself. People are getting it all across the board for this channel. What is it? It is money for food. How do you get it? Department of Agriculture. Call them up. What's the eligibility? Generally the same as a stimulus check. How much is it? It's a fortune. Family of four in Hawaii now gets upwards of $16,000 a year. Why so much money? Because of two executive orders, one from Trump and one from Biden, that raise your benefits up 15% between now and December. So go get it. And we are killing it. $16,000 for SNAP, a family of four in Hawaii, $5,000 for rent. We're only 10 minutes of this video. I got more money to get you right now. And it's $5,000. Where is that $5? Where did that viewer get that $5,000 from? The state. The federal government had identified states as overpaying you unemployment assistance to no fault of your own due to computer error. Not your computer. Your computer works fine. It's the state's computer. The federal government said, you should not have had to return that money back to the state. It was your money to keep. It was their computer to go fix. And now the federal government has ordered the states to return that money back to you. Congratulations. So when each state has different routing times, reach out to respective states. Where? To the account you have on file with that state. Which brings us to the last pot of money, and it's wonderful. Ka got it, Margaret got it, another viewer got it. It is the money coming back from the federal government that you pay taxes on in your 2020 unemployment benefits. Let's go over how much, when, where, and how to track it. First, how much? Here's an example. Let's say you had $9,000 of total unemployment benefits. You paid $5,000 of total taxes to IRS that year, 2020, of which $4,000 was taxes on your unemployment assistance. Congratulations, you're getting back $4,000. Where? Direct deposit if you're like COD and have that set up on that 2020 return. Otherwise, in the mail. When? Month of June. How to track it? Go to irs.gov. Yes, congratulations. 70% of the time, it works. Set up a username and password. Go in there and track your name and your social security number. You will see the taxes are in your file 70% of the time, the taxes you paid, and the refund check you're getting. Boy, is anything better and more exciting than that? There is. And it's your second of 3 4 stimulus check updates of 2021 in this extended morning's broadcast this Saturday, and it starts right now. Fourth stimulus is currently under the reconciliation process. We know it will end by July 4th with an approval. We also know this week that all Democrats, including, of course, Joe Manchin, are on board to pass it. The Democrats in the Senate want you to have a monthly stimulus checks. The Democrats in the House want you to have a monthly stimulus check. The president was asked about that stimulus check this week and says he likes it. And everyone's talking about your stimulus check under the fourth stimulus package in broadcast media. In fact, everyone is now talking about that fourth stimulus check except the people not giving it to you, the GOP and the conservative media. We also learned the great news that they're currently marking up the bill. This is wonderful. It means that they're currently writing the language and editing the language of the fourth stimulus package. That's in the House. But we got the incredible, jaw-dropping, revolutionary news on Friday when the president signed into law a major international deal. And that international deal removed the need to have certain provisions about corporate taxes in the fourth stimulus check package, now making fourth stimulus even easier to pass than it was before. Wow. So how did we get to that spot? Let me recap. The Friday before Memorial Day weekend, Leader Schumer confirmed not one, but 3 of the news statements I have been reporting. 1, the fourth stimulus is currently under recon. Number 2, it will end by July 4th. Number 3, it will get passed, that all Democrats are on board. But how do we get to Schumer's statement about that? Well, days earlier, Jalapal, the author of the House monthly stimulus check bill, wrote Schumer a letter saying call the vote. But more importantly, Jalapal's letter was co-signed by 12 House Democrats, who ironically are among the 100-plus House Democrats who had previously written the president a letter saying, we're going to put monthly fourth stimulus checks into the fourth stimulus package. Wow. Can we get better than that? We can. When this letter was written about a week ago, a letter now on front page across broadcast media all this week. The letter's by 7 House members who said to the president in the letter, written to the president, we're going to be putting monthly fourth stimulus checks into the fourth stimulus package, and we'll be working with you about it. Wow. Well, who are they to say that? What do they do? They're on the House subcommittee that's solely and exclusively responsible for writing stimulus checks in this country. Did they write the first stimulus check? They did. Did they write the second stimulus check? They did. Did they write the third? They did. Are they going to write the fifth? They are. Yes. They also said in the letter that they're going to put fifth stimulus checks into the fifth stimulus package. That's coming up later in this video. Wow, now that is wonderful news. Can we top that? And we can. When the president signed into law yesterday, one of the most important provisions of the fourth stimulus package. Now, to understand that, I need to back it up to a recent Tuesday, which I have been covering day after day on this channel. You saw it, where I said, it's confusing, I need to slow it down. Let me slow it down once again. On a recent Tuesday, the President of the United States talked about the fourth stimulus. The fourth stimulus is paid for by raising the U.S. corporate tax rate, taxes on corporations. The president had said from day one of the fourth stimulus, he was worried that if he's raising U.S. corporate tax rates, then U.S. corporations may move overseas, where the tax rate is lower. So he had a beautiful idea. He reached out to leaders of 6 other countries of the G7 and said, can we agree to raise the global minimum corporate tax rate so that corporations will not race to the bottom, look for a lower rate somewhere else? And they tentatively said yes, those countries, that recent Tuesday ago. Well, the president told insiders at the time that after fourth stimulus is passed, in July, in August, and September, and November, he'll reach back to those G7 countries and have them sign into law what they had agreed to. And if they do, he would drop and remove provisions out of fourth stimulus no longer needed. Well, the president surprised everyone with a great idea. It started this last Friday, not this Friday, but the Friday before that, where I told you I saw, because it's my job to find everything for you, a buried news article that said the president was talking to the G7 countries on Saturday, a week ago today. I said, I don't understand why he's talking to them on Saturday. But I said, stay with me to mornings LALATE live on air, and I did deliver the breaking news. The president, a week ago today, said that he had reached out to the G7 countries and got to the degree before fourth stimulus was passed to raise the global minimum corporate tax rate to 50%, and he was going to sign into law, which he did yesterday in Europe, which now anchors fourth stimulus over the finish line and no longer requires other provisions in fourth stimulus about corporate taxes because now it's an international treaty. He now makes it easier. Oh my goodness, that is brilliant and revolutionary. It is. Basically what the president did yesterday by signing that international deal about fourth stimulus, he made it easier to pass fourth stimulus because now he doesn't need certain provisions in there anymore. They're in the international law for corporate taxes. Wow, now that's wonderful. But there's more about this coming up still in the second half of this video. In the second half of this video, I go more over about fourth stimulus and fifth stimulus and the surprising detail about that fifth stimulus check. But first, reach out to the volunteers. They are wonderful as well. If you're having problems getting that rent, utilities, and mortgage assistance, it's thousands of dollars. Reach out to the community page. Where is it? It's in the description to this video. Open the description and you'll see an emoji of a house. Click on the link and it'll send you over to the community page, news.la.com/community. The volunteers are there to help you get that rent and utilities if you can't find it as well. Also SNAP and also mortgage assistance. Reach out to them and they're there to help you. They're salt of the earth. They embody the spirit of the purple power. People helping people. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds with more about fourth stimulus and, of course, fifth stimulus. But first, here's a little bit about the community page. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. and then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Mornings LALATE. Wow, the toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, the surf is surfing, and the sea-dew is sea-dewing. How are ya? It's Saturday morning here in Santa Monica. Hope you're having a beautiful morning. How's the weather where you are? Tell me where you're watching and how's the weather. Jump in the live chat or in the comments. Boy, coming up in the second half of this video is a lot of details about fourth and fifth stimulus. You're going to be really excited. But first, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. You were killing it yesterday. Thousands of subscribers in the last few days. So hit that subscribe button. Also, like this video. 2,000-3,000 likes. Never forget to like a video. It helps in the algorithm ranking. And consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Coming up next is noontime, afternoons, and evenings. Let's jump right into the breaking details about this stimulus. This stimulus has not one, but three wonderful breaking news stories about it. Of course, you're wondering about that stimulus check. Let's go to that first. Yes, there will be a fifth stimulus check. We have now learned. And viewers are asking me, how would that work? My understanding, based upon their mindset, is that they're thinking that fourth stimulus checks would be in 2021, and fifth stimulus checks would be in 2022. Remember, fifth stimulus starts in September, out the door in October, November. Well, I think what they're thinking is start the stimulus checks to send out in January 2022. Very easy breezy concept. Next, we had a real wonderful thing this week from the president. I think it was on Thursday. He dedicated $1 billion to Social Security Administration for ramping up their computer systems, their payroll, their staffing, and their administration to ensure you get benefits faster, on time, and accurately without any more bottlenecks. If you were with me in spring of 2021, we had 5,000 videos about. The third stimulus check is being delayed because of Direct Express by Comerica. I think I said Direct Express by Comerica more than I could ever say it in my life. And we had all the problems about they didn't have the information to send out your stimulus checks. We had all those waves. He's trying to solve all that by giving a big cash infusion to hire more people, ramp up the computer systems. This is wonderful because this helps get you benefit checks quicker and stimulus checks quicker. Remember, you're entitled to fourth stimulus checks, you're entitled to fifth stimulus checks, and you're entitled to this benefits lifts. Finally, the big news, and this one is huge. It's a little bit complicated, so I'm going to slow it down so you understand it. On Thursday, the Consumer Price Index number was released, the CPI. What does it track? It tracks costs of goods, how much they cost in the month of May this year. Gas, food, cars, very easy. The number went up, obviously. So how much did the number go up? Compared to May of last year, the number went up the highest year to date in nearly 30 years. Wow. So what does that say about fifth stimulus? They said that they're now thinking that the inflation rate will go way up in a big spike that's temporary, or what they call transitory, and then come down after that temporary or transitory spike. They think that spike is going to happen at the end of this year. This is huge for fifth stimulus, to which we're going to get right into fifth stimulus right now. Fifth stimulus involves raising up your benefits one big time. Then they will remove the asset limit, add an inflationary benchmark, remove the income exclusion, remove the marriage penalty. Let's go over what that means now that you understand this temporary spike of inflation. First, they'll raise your benefits up under fifth stimulus. Who's you? If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, survivor benefits, they'll raise your benefits up one big time. Then they'll apply the benchmark in December. You want to hope the benchmark, when they apply in December, has the highest inflationary run of the entire year. You want that peak to hit right in December or November. Why? Because you get that peak lifetime. Let me show you an example. Let's say the inflation rate is suddenly 6% in September, but 10% in December, and then goes right back down to 2% in January next year. Well, if you get that 10%, this is what's going to happen. They raise your benefits up on the fifth stimulus. Then they apply the benchmark in December or November of 10%. Let's say it's 10%, that spike. Then you're raised up 10%, but not just next year, lifetime. That spike would raise your benefits up a lifetime. It's huge. So you have to really hope that spike happens when they apply the benefits in the benchmark the first time in November, December. Next, they're going to remove the asset cap. It is currently preventing more than $3,000 on hand. Time to get it away so that we can clear that hand up for some stimulus checks. They're going to remove the income cap that dates back to a 1960s law that says you can't work. Now you'll be able to work and stay on benefits. And finally, they're going to remove the marriage penalty. Love is going to win, and you'll be able to marry your longtime love interests. Like Rob and Sandy, they'll be able to marry and no longer fear the marriage penalty. Wonderful news. That's fifth stimulus. But what else is in fifth stimulus? Well, it's important to consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the chat and the pinned comment. There's a lot else in the fifth stimulus. There's a lot else in the fourth stimulus. There's a lot else in the third stimulus. Third stimulus has thousands of dollars for you. And if you don't know what it is, you'll never get it because a lot of it's application-based. Consider becoming a member because daily I send to the members via the community page on YouTube a breakdown of everything that's in fourth, third, and fifth stimulus for you. So you know the money that you're entitled to get and the money that's for you. It's sent to you directly from the YouTube page, and if you have that YouTube account set up to go to your email address, you get it directly to your email address, directly from me, daily. All right, let's go back to fourth stimulus and the incredible details still about fourth stimulus. We're going to be going over what's going to happen next week. We're going to be going over the timeline. We're going to be going over the false narrative expected next week, and we're going to be going over the purple power push. All right, first let's go over the important developments for next week. This is where we are going into next week. One, we're currently under reconciliation. Second, we're going to finish reconciliation by July 4th. Third, the Democratic House, the Democratic senators, and the president all want you to have those monthly stimulus checks. Number 6, they're currently marking up the bill. They're currently marking up. They're not finished, but they're marking up the bill. Number 7, all the Democrats, including Joe Manchin, are currently on board to pass it by recon. Which brings us then to understand what are the steps. 9 steps are required. The first half are procedural, the second half are substantive. Listen to the final substantive steps of this timeline because those are the most important. Step 1, the House votes on the procedural bill in the subcommittees. Step 2, the House floor votes on the procedural bill. Step 3, the Senate votes on the procedural bill. Step 4, the President signs the procedural bill into law. At that point, the tow truck has passed over the finish line. Time to go back and get that tow hitch. Step 5, the House subcommittee writes, as they currently are, the substantive bill, marks it up, and calls it for a vote. At that point, they can put the monthly stimulus checks in there if they want. Step 6, the House floor votes on the substantive bill. Steps 7 and 8, 2 of the most important steps of this entire process. The 2-day, 48-hour vote-a-rama in the Senate. The senators amend whatever is given to them from the House if they so wish. So, if the House had no stimulus checks in there, the senators can amend and add it in there. If there was stimulus checks in there, the senators can leave it alone. Or if there were stimulus checks in there, the senators can amend it and make them bigger. And finally, step 9, the president signs it into law. And there you go. Those are the 9 steps. Next, the false narratives. Next week will be a lot more false narratives. And they started on Friday. And while they ended on Friday, I believe the person behind the false narratives will continue them. Who is it? The protagonista. Her telenovela started on Friday and ended on Friday. But because she likes publicity, I expect her to continue her novella, her press junket next week, even though that novella has ended. Here's what you need to know. On Friday, the protagonista met without the support of any Democrats with a series of exiting Republicans who are quitting Congress, who are actually out the door practically, who didn't have the support of Republicans, to meet about forced stimulus. And what did she do? She didn't have anyone's support. She didn't have an agreement. So what did she do? She put out a press release saying, I almost have an agreement. For the first time through the forced stimulus, the Republicans and Democrats agreed upon one thing. This protagonista had nothing and will have nothing. And who is she? Kristen Sinema, Democrat out of Arizona. She does not have the support of the Democrats to be in those meetings with those exiting Republicans. 2, she's not meeting with any Republicans who have any authority to do anything. And number 3, the Republicans made very clear she has no authority to be meeting with those Republicans, and those Republicans do not represent the Republican caucus. So why is she doing this? Publicity for a telenovela, which ended on Friday. The story and the dramatics ended. And if it makes any more sense to you, let me explain this. While the president was getting on a plane to fly overseas to pass this massive item for forced stimulus, his focus was getting those G7 countries to agree upon corporate tax reform to pass forced stimulus. Corporate taxes. President's paying for forced stimulus with corporate taxes. Very clear? Corporate taxes, I'll say it again. What was the protagonista doing on Friday as soon as he got off U.S. soils? Trying to pay for forced stimulus by taxing your gasoline at the gas pump, at the back gas pump. Really? Your gasoline at the gas pump? No. That shows you how out of touch the protagonista is. So what I want you to know is going into Monday, I expect the protagonista to talk about how successful she is, how wonderful everything is. There's much ado of nothing, so discard it. And which brings us to the final last point. Purple Power, you need to push. A couple of viewers were very nice on overnight's videos on the channel, in the comments, and some people on social media saying, LALATE, you need to come in a little bit heavier handed. You need to do a lot more tough love with the viewers because there's a little bit too much apathy with people on not pushing. And I agree. Some of you have done a wonderful job on pushing for this forced stimulus, but a lot of you are saying things like, I'm crossing my fingers. Why are you crossing your fingers? The fingers need to be uncrossed. They need to be tweeting. I'm praying to God. No, you don't need to be praying to God. You need to be calling up the God of the Senate. You need to be calling up Chuck. You be calling God. Chuck doesn't meet with God that often. Just kidding. You need to not be praying, crossing your fingers, hoping, wishing, or anything like that. You need to be pushing. The viewers said in those comments that you need to tell people, go on social media. The number of tweets is not enough. And it is not enough. I've seen a big apathy among some people who are doing nothing to push. All they're doing is trying to track the check. And that's what Donut Guy does. And you know what Donut Guy gets in the end? No donut, because tracking doesn't get you a stimulus check. Here's what you need to remember. Whether it's Republican or Democrat, they're all the same. They have legislation that passes, becomes law, and the money never goes out. They have legislation that they write and they never call it to a vote. They have proposals, which they never reduce to legislation, and they have thoughts that they never put in a proposal. These legislators often suggest, write, even pass laws for you, but the money often never goes out. You need to push. You need to be on social media. Hashtag MSE. Hashtag Purple Power. Tag me. Tag your elected officials. Call them up. Write them letters. The opportunity window is now. I never asked you to push in the month of April. I never asked you to push in the month of March. I'm asking you to push now. In July, it will be too late to push. In August, it will be over. So the opportunity to push is right now. And go on social media and push immediately. And with that, make sure you also subscribe. A 400,000 subscribers YouTube record. I want you to subscribe to this channel. Like this video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Join me next on Noontime LA. Then we're back with afternoons, evenings, and overnights crypto as well. Don't miss a single video across the board. It's a big day with a lot of details. Make sure you continue to push on social media. Don't roll over. Push, stay focused, stay formed, and stay across the board as a pushing force for forced stimulus. Stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful morning, and I'll see you next on Noontime LA. And stay with LA for more.